Welcome back to Fraud Explained, Episode 3. Today we're going to talk about buying and selling on the internet. Let's get started. If you have ever bought anything on the internet and were never scammed or attempted to be scammed, that's a good thing. It's just a matter of time. The cases that I investigate, a lot of people are looking to buy maybe anything from furniture to puppies to renting houses. There's a couple of things you need to know about what the scammers are doing and what they're looking for. Again, the commonality of these scams is you'll never meet them in person, and if you do, it's a rare occasion, and those are the ones you got to look out for specifically. There are several red flags when selling things over the internet. If you look at the buyer's profile, you'll notice that it's relatively new and doesn't have a lot of ratings behind it. The second thing you want to notice is that they won't negotiate a price. They won't ask much about the product and are willing to do whatever you tell them to do. That is a clear red flag. And lastly, if you do get in an email or text conversation with them, you'll notice that they capitalize random words and use the word kindly a lot. Not sure when the US started to use the word kindly. This is a key indicator that it may be outside the US. And speaking of that, when they offer to pay you in US dollars, what other form of currency do you want to accept except US dollars? So that's kind of a clear indication also. Let's say you want to buy something or sell something on Craigslist or OfferUp or LetGo or even Facebook Marketplace. You gotta understand that the people that you're dealing with you don't know. So there's kind of a trade-off between, do you ship it? Do you sell it locally? Uh, do you have people in your home picking up items? Uh, these are all kind of personal decisions that you have to make. I personally, when I sell something, I try to meet them maybe at a mutual place, maybe a parking lot, maybe a Walmart, maybe a 7-Eleven. You got to be wary of people who are out there trying to maybe take your money, rob you, give you fake products. Uh, those are things you have to kind of really be aware of, but don't be too paranoid about. If you go through the eBay or the PayPal process, you usually have some recourse. We talked about recourse in my first episode, where essentially you got to be able to have some recourse in order to try to get your money back if you have been scammed. If you go the side road and send them money another method, or they ask you to bypass the procedures of PayPal, chances are you're going to be looked to be scammed, especially if you're not meeting these people in person. Uh, if you are selling a product, let's say on Craigslist, and they give you a reason why they can't meet up with you, probably want to take a pass on that. A lot of times these scammers are going to give you a nice patriotic story about how they're overseas and that they can't get to you or whatever the case may be, or come to pick it up, and that they're going to send you a check or have their assistant send you a check, and that ends up being they send you too much money, and then they try to entice you by keeping some more money. Zelle Pay, all those types of Cash App, those quick pay type things. If you send it as friends and family, you really don't have a recourse. If you do it as a purchase or a business transaction, there may be some recourse. Because at the end of the day, it's really going to be a decision of whether this company is going to try to help you and reimburse you. But if you really dig into the fine print of these things, they can always find a way out of not paying you. So if you are going to buy and sell on the internet, I typically, when I buy from a well-known company, and of course, everybody buys from Amazon, and that's great, and they really have the best delivery and payment methods and return policies. A lot of these scammers are going to be on the personal level of an individual selling items, and you're taking a chance if you don't feel comfortable in the way you're doing the transaction, such as, are you meeting with them? Are you paying them in cash? What information are you giving them? And if you sell something, are they giving you counterfeit money? Are they, going to rob you? So these are the things that you have to think of when you're buying and selling to people you don't know. And if you do offer them the chance to come into your house, because maybe it's too big to pack up and move, maybe they need a truck. My suggestion is have somebody with you, maybe videotape it, maybe have cameras available. You just got to be really careful of who you let in your house these days. You got to be worried about people coming to your house, maybe 2 or more people who show up for no apparent reason other than their friends, and suddenly they're distracting you in one room while the other person's taking money in another room. So you have to be really wary and have control of what's going on. If it's a small item, you may want to meet in a mutual place, take a friend, maybe even call law enforcement for an escort if they're willing to do that if you're not comfortable with the purchase transaction or the selling transaction. So just be wary of that. Other typical scams are going to be a rental scam. So here is how a typical rental scam works. The bad guy will recreate advertisement from an existing advertisement to make it more enticing for people to want to rent. Here are some examples of what they do and what to look out for. If the ad was stolen from an existing ad, the rent will be significantly less than what the actual rent is. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is. The next clue to look out for is the fact that they will not meet with you and offer you to go check out the house on your own. They will get you to sign contracts and send money without ever actually meeting with you. Realtors make it very easy to have access to the key where they pay for it online and then give you a time frame when you show up to the house. If by chance the suspects are local and they want to meet with you, they're typically going to meet with you outside the home, maybe at a parking lot, and you never really know who they are. Find out who the owner is, make your own phone calls, maybe call a neighbor, maybe go down there and take a look at the house, talk to neighbors, say, hey, this house was on Craigslist for rent. I'm thinking about renting it. I'm in touch with the owner, and if they say, well, the owner died 5 years ago and it's in foreclosure, then that may be a clue that you're getting scammed. They try to just show up to take your money and hand you a key. That's usually another clue. So you got to be smart about these things. You got to understand what's going on in these type of rental scams. Another type of scam that you may come across is buying puppies and pets in general. If you want to buy it from a store, you may want to find a local breeder, go up, meet these people, because they're going to take your money. They're going to promise you all these things, and then they're not going to deliver. And the truth is, there is no pets in these type of scams. They're just pulling on people's hearts to do this. So if you do find a website and you are looking to purchase a pet and it's out of state, you probably want to invest the time in going to that place and making sure it's legitimate. Here are some do nots for the week. Don't be so anxious to sell your item on the internet without doing your due diligence. Remember, the fraudsters are out there, and this is just another way to get your money. Don't think that everything on the internet for sale is legitimate. A lot of times they're not. Don't meet with people in your home if you don't feel comfortable. Always have a friend with you and meet in a mutual location. Don't get lazy when it comes to rental homes. Do your due diligence before, during, and after the transaction. It's always a good idea to meet the person you're renting a home from. Have them buy you lunch. When it comes to puppy scams, don't be taken in by the nice pictures they put up on their website. It's best to meet with these people or fly out and check out the pet themselves, otherwise you're opening yourself up for fraud. Like I said in my first 2 episodes, just be wary of people on the internet. Everything on the internet is not what it seems, especially when it comes to transferring money. They make money transfers so easy right now that it's instantaneous, and there's a price to pay for that. So just understand that. I love to talk to you about how people get your credit card numbers in my next episode about skimmers. I'm going to show you actual skimmers, how they actually skim your cards, make your cards, and then use the cards online or in person, and how they do it anonymously. It's kind of interesting. I think you'll enjoy it. I'll see you next time.